Hello, my friends. My name is Janine Massey, and I'm the founder of JMM Consulting and the JMM community. And I wanted to have a conversation with you today about metacognition. Some of you may have heard of it, and some of you may not have heard about it. But in real simple terms, it's about thinking about what you think about. It means paying attention to the internal dialogue, your thoughts that are constantly running through your mind. So for those of you who have heard about it, many people are aware of it because when we talk about performance and mindset and awareness, we pay attention to possible negative dialogue, self-talk, right? I'm not good enough. Why did you do that? Where we're pretty much dogging on ourselves. And that can be a track that runs in our mind. And obviously that does not support positive behavior, positive outlook. So that's negative self-talk. That may be some of the narrative thoughts that are running through your mind. But there's also positive self-talk. And that can be like, ooh, you killed it. Way to go. I love when this happens. Whatever that narrative is, right, about what you're doing and your relationship to what you're thinking about what you're doing. The other is our narrative about other people. We're driving in our car and we watch how someone drives and we have judgments, reactions, or we're walking down the street and we see whatever it is that's unfolding in front of us, and we have strong opinions. And sometimes the narrative may not be that nice. And we may, if we pay attention, notice, shoot, I'm pretty judgmental. Or, really, Janine? How do you know that's what's really going on? Because we make all kinds of assumptions. That's what this narrative does. We just fill in the blank, especially when we're not conscious of it. So we're always going to have the thoughts. We're always going to have the narrative. But it's really cool when we can do something like, maybe I do make an assumption. Maybe it's not very kind. And I am paying attention to that thought. And I immediately say, but how do you know that, Janine? Right? I keep track of it. I'm in touch with what I'm thinking and why I'm thinking it. And we talk about things like that too. I like this, I don't like that. Wow, the sky's extra blue today. All the things that we're not saying out loud, but we're clearly thinking. Why does it matter? Well, it matters for a couple of reasons. One is that when we think things often enough, and if you pay attention, you're going to notice patterns. Good or bad, you're going to notice some things about yourself, but you're going to understand where you are. And when we think things over and over and over, that takes thoughts into a place of beliefs. And that is important because we actually end up hardwiring our brain based on our beliefs. We think something often enough, that becomes what we believe, and automatically our brain responds by creating neural networks. So, hardwired to think certain ways by default, right? It's kind of an evolutionary process to be efficient. So it may matter how we're thinking, what we're thinking about. Because if it's in alignment with who we think we are, who we want to be in this world, that's awesome. But what if it's not? What if we paid attention? Because here's the cool thing about that. It's not so much the work we have to do to change things, because certain things with awareness will change on their own because we're smart. We know if I believe I'm a kind person and I pay attention to my thoughts and I hear unkind things running through my mind all the time about myself or others, I may modify that. I may answer my own questions. Gosh, Janine, why, how could you be so stupid? For instance. And maybe the response is, shoot, you weren't stupid. You were tired. You didn't know all the information. You know, So, perspective, awareness, consciousness about what we're thinking, who we are those things in alignment? Super, super important, because when we get to that default level of thinking, it impacts what we do. It also impacts our personality. And so how people interpret us, how we want to be seen in this world. So being aware of those things becomes super, super important. And this is an ongoing process because we want to stay up to date. Sometimes we don't realize what we're thinking. We're not self-aware. We don't know when we're coming across in a negative way. Could be for all kinds of reasons. Could be tired. Maybe we just haven't been feeling well and we're just not even aware of it. And all of a sudden, shoot, why am I so short-tempered these days? Why am I not being understanding? Self-awareness. So, alignment is when what we're thinking, what we're doing, who we are is all connected. That comes from understanding metacognition. So, you want a superpower? Get to know you. One of the first ways to do that is to pay attention to the thoughts you're thinking. I hope this was interesting for you, and I'd love to hear your feedback. So this is it for today. I'm Janine Massey, and I'm with JMM Consulting. I hope you have a fantastic day. Until the next time, bye for now.